Literally, we were about to meet 3 or 4 days and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And we were back in London 2 weeks later.
What took you there?
So I was in India, in Bombay. Let's get our chai. I was in Bombay.
Thank you for the chai, Mira.
Thank you. Beautiful cups. I was
Beautiful
in
chai.
I was in Bombay, and then I went to Gujarat, and I came back, and I had a couple of weeks extra. And I thought, let me go to Goa, because I know Goa, and the last time I went 4 or 5 years ago, I loved it. I wrote the first part of my book there, and just really enjoyed it, and I wanted to be on the beach. And I spoke to one of my friends who's a yoga teacher in Bombay, and she said, this is not the time for Goa. We've just come back from 2 months in Goa, and Goa is amazing, but why don't you just come with us to Rishikesh, because we're doing a retreat there.
Oh, wow.
So why don't you just join us for the retreat?
And a friend who lives there?
A friend who lives in Bombay,
wow.
who is a yoga teacher, and her friend, who are both yoga teachers, were taking a group of people to Rishikesh for a yoga retreat.
How lucky.
And it was during Holi, and they were like, it's a great place for Holi.
Yeah.
It's just great weather in Rishikesh at the moment. And I was like, actually, I haven't been to Rishikesh in so many years.
Yeah.
And there's never been a reason to really go back. So why not?
Yeah.
So I did it. I just took a sort of on the whim, decided to go with them to the retreat. And it turned out to be, the minute I got there, and the first night we stayed at the ashram by the Ganga, Barmar, just because we came one day before and we did the Ganga Aarti. It just felt like I was meant to be there. It just felt so incredible to
Your Aarti
arrive.
looked amazing.
Yeah, it was just beautiful. I mean, to be honest, we got there late for the Aarti. We landed and the Aarti had started while we were driving. But it's such a long thing. Yeah. So we got there by the sort of end part of it. And it just felt amazing to be there. And then the retreat. And tell me about your trip.
You go to India every year, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you have work in Mumbai every year? Is that why you...
I end up doing things. So I did a talk this time. I know people there. I know people in different... I have friends that I've sort of met over the years, and I just need to go there.
Yeah,
I go there for other things as well. Like my guru lives there. I go to his recitals. So
Who's your guru, Mira?
Murari Bapu. So
and what does he teach?
He does Ram Kathas, which are like 9-day recitals of... and he picks on different topics. So it's not just the Ramayana, but the base of it is the Ramayana.
And in those 9 days, how much of the time is recitals? Is it like
3 hours?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 3-4 hours in the morning, and the rest of the day you do
and
whatever
does he explain it in English as well?
No, that's the thing. So that's why over the years, having been going since I was 12 years old, I understand Hindi a lot better now.
Good,
and I really feel like I grasp. And I also went to a school in London, which taught Sanskrit. So
Millie's same school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that way I pick up the what he speaks about in a different way as well.
How did you find him? Or how did he find you? Or
my dad, I think everyone in the Gujarati community knows who he is.
Right.
My dad just told my sister once to go to a gatha which was happening, and I was very young, so I went along. And then I went along to another one, and since then it's just been sort of year after year of having one at least in the year.
That's so nice.
And in different parts of the world, it's not just India. Yeah, it's not just India. He's done it in London, and Leicester, and New York, and Dubai, and
how old is he then now?
70 something.
Right.
Yeah.
So but sprightly, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, right now, sadly, I got to Rishikesh and I found out that he's doing a gatha in Haridwar just right now. So it would have been lovely too, because it's 1 hour away.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all over India, and I feel like you get different experience. Not only listening to him, I mean that's the main thing, but also you go to these different places that I would never have visited otherwise. I went to one in Benares. And like I would never visit, but I would never spend 9 days in Benares.
My sister said I have to do Benares. Like it's beautiful. Have to do that. You're right. And because you're going to meet like-minded people, because if they're interested in this, you'll get on with them. So to be in India with like-minded people and travel is like, oh my God, nothing sweeter. Nothing sweeter. And I think that I know for me, before leaving Mira, I was feeling really overwhelmed is the right word. Even the thought of doing a simple video would make me feel anxious. I can't put it any other way. And you know what happened? I had thought of going to Ananda for the last year. It was on my bucket list that I must do it when I was feeling fine. And then I said to a friend of mine, I think I'm going to go in Jan, but one of my dearest friends. And she said, oh, it sounds amazing. Can I come with you? And I kind of wanted to go on my own, but then I thought, no, she's gorgeous, we'll have a great time, we'll have our moments of separation, all is well. And then I couldn't go in Jan. So my family said to me, why don't you go in March? Because we would go for my mum's ashes. It would have been a year to her passing. So I said, fine, I'll change mine to March. I changed it to March, not then knowing. Do you remember when all of you came round here?
Yes.
When we had Sonam did the... So Sonam came before everyone else and she said, how are you? And I said, I've been called back for a biopsy for breast cancer. And I said, but I'm not worried because 4 in 100 people are called back. It's not a biggie, like it'll be fine. And I wasn't worried. Had a biopsy, then had to have another biopsy, then had to have partial removal. Anyway, long story short, I did have breast cancer.
Oh.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have been able to go in Jan anyway.
Wow.
So luckily for me, it's called DCIS, and why I'm mentioning it is Julia Bradbury had mentioned on her Instagram, because she had it and had a full mammogram, same as mine, but hers was full mastectomy. And mine was aggressive but small, so I didn't need a full mastectomy. I was really lucky. And how did I know I had it? Standard routine check. I didn't feel a thing.
Wow.
I know I felt sad. I'd lost my mum, I'd lost Star, I'd been working really hard. Something felt off last year. And when Star passed, all of a sudden it all caught up with me. And I literally felt, I don't know how to get up and get about my day. I can't do it. I haven't got the strength. And what was keeping me going was getting to Ananda.
Wow.
So the moral of that story is we all need something we look forward to, because that's what gives us the strength in difficult times. Always, like we must always have something that is igniting our soul.
And that's for us as well.
For us, yeah.
And you did that. You did that for you. Like.
I did it for me. So what happened is I could never have gone in Jan because I had my op in Jan. So I was under brilliant care, and the whole way through I kept saying to myself, something divine is happening here. There's a gift here, and whatever happens is going to be the best gift ever. I never felt scared. Only one night I had a good cry, and I said to Bittu, I don't want, because I think I just had that large removal, and I was crying in bed saying to Bittu, I don't want any more pain. I've had enough of pain. I'm done with pain. Not again. And it's okay to feel sorry for yourself a little bit, right? That's human nature. And then there was another day, I was sitting waiting for my oncologist in UCH, and I spoke to my friend Kelly, and she was at the airport, and she was saying, Anita, I'm going. It was January. I'm going. I'm so excited. And I said to her, I should be the one going. I should be going with you, and it's not fair that you're going, and I'm sat here surrounded by sick people.
Oh, God.
But actually being able to voice it was really good. And she's so lovely that she said, I understand, it's not fun. And so what I learned from the experience is what you feel, don't suppress it, say it. And when you have something like that happen, you are so present that there isn't time to be concerned about what ifs. And that's a really powerful place to be. So I was deeply present, and I kept saying to Bittu and my family, it's all going to be fine. I know it's going to be fine. It was caught early.
And also it's perfect timing. You then went on and they did Panchkarma straight up.
Oh my God. Do you know what I did? I booked my tickets already. I knew I was seeing my oncologist for the results, like that everything was clear, the op had happened, it was all fine. I knew I was seeing her on whatever date in March. And I booked my tickets for the day after.
Oh, wow.
And I said to her, is it okay for me to travel? And she said, as long as you wear compression clothing, blah, 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 it's fine. But you need to come for your appointment. And I said, yeah, of course I'll come for my appointment. But I knew she was going to say, it's all good, go. And the very next day I left. And it was 3.5 weeks that I was in India in total.
Incredible.
So business in Jaipur, because we do business there. That's fills me with so much joy, even though it's frustrating because we're having our boxes made in India, and they're made like from recycled cotton, which is lovely. And I said to the man, you know, will you have the samples ready for me before I leave for London? And he said, of course, madam, I will. Every day I was at Ananda, even though I should have been switching off, I was texting him saying, how is it going? Is it done? Are we nearly there? Every day he would say, yes, we're nearly there. And I'd say, can you send me a picture of a sample? Will do, will do. Finally, I'm in Delhi. The last day comes and I say, you've not sent me anything. What's happening? He said, madam, we lied just to keep you happy. We haven't done anything.
God.
That's doing business in India for you.
God.
It can be really frustrating, but you have to brace yourself and say, that's how it is.
Yeah.
And but it was a joy going there. And I went with my sister, which was incredible. Just being with her was incredible. And
it's the best time to be there. And you went to Rishikesh, which is just so spiritually enlightening.
Oh, Rishikesh was, and I got, as luck would have it, as the divine plan would have it, I got to the puja on the passing of my mum's, the very day, 15th of March, which was also my mum and dad's anniversary.
Wow.
So I got there. I got there for my family.
Gosh.
So not with her ashes, we'll do that separately, but at least I was physically there because not everyone could make it at that time. And then Ananda, which was, we know means bliss.
Yeah.
And it really was bliss. So Panchkarma.
Yeah, tell us a bit about Panchkarma.
Yeah, so Panchkarma, Panch meaning 5, Mira, you know, it's for the audience. Panch meaning 5, Karma meaning action. So the 5 actions are purgation, massage, diet. So you do these actions and it's a very considered plan because what they do is they ease you into it. So first, before you even leave, you have a detailed plan of what you should eat to prepare your body. And it's not that hard. It's like ginger tea and things that we probably do on a good day. And then don't have coffee. I did because I ended up doing 2 days in Delhi before going to Rishikesh and 4 days in Jaipur. And I wasn't not going to eat the delicious food in Jaipur.
Of course not.
And
also you were about to go to Panchkarma, so...
Yeah, and I had a glass of wine with my sister and all that. So, I didn't do it in the most optimum way, but never mind, I enjoyed myself. So, so they ease you into it, and then comes the heavy part. So there's there's reducing armor, and then there is purging the body of all the toxins completely. That's the hardest stage. And then there is rejuvenating the body, building it up again, and then there's nourishing the body. So it's a very considered plan. And you're seeing a doctor every day, and that doctor is asking you how you're feeling, he's checking your pressure, he's then adapting the plan based on how you're doing. So there's a lot of care. They even have a doctor there who is more to do with the mind, to make sure that you're talking through any emotional toxins, because they're as powerful, if not more, than physical ones, right?
Of course.
We know that. So you have a talk with that doctor, then you do yoga every morning if you want to. Hatha yoga, which I've never been a fan of hatha yoga till I went to Ananda.
Oh, really?
I love it now.
But is it like a sort of more slow-paced yoga because you're going through a detox, I assume?
It's slow-paced because it ought to be slow-paced.
Okay.
So you build so much heat in the body with it if you're doing the poses correctly and you're not rushing through them. So all you're doing to begin with is things like ankle twists. And you think, this is geriatric yoga. But actually, about 15 minutes in, you're sweating. You're producing heat and because you're doing it purposefully rather than just going through the...
But also when you're there, you're in a place where you're doing a wellness program. You're not rushing to the next place.
No, exactly.
So you're doing it in a calmer way. And also that yoga studio, which I've seen, it's just beautiful.
I might paint my ceiling and see if it has the same impact. Oh my God. That's the thing, Mira. And if you're that way inclined, which I know that you are, when you see beauty at every turn, it just moves you here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It
fills you.
It fills you. And this is something Bishu doesn't understand. And I kind of envy him for that because he can be in any environment and just be at peace. Whereas I like my beauty because I think it's God speaking to us. And so in Ananda, there is beauty at every turn. And so many people making sure that it stays that way. And so you do your morning yoga, you do your morning mantras, Om Bhur-Bhava, and the other one, what's it called? I forget the name of the other one. Om Triambakam. Yeah, what's that called?
Oh gosh,
something
yeah.
We can put it in the notes.
Mahamantra.
That's it. Yeah, Mahamantra. So we did the Mahamantra and we did Om Bhur-Bhava, and we did it 11 times each, and we did Om, and then we would sit down to a little bit of quiet meditation, and we would do the pranayama, and that was I really enjoyed the pranayama. I do it sometimes.
Yeah, not every single day.
Not every day, but now since I've come back, I've been doing it every day, and I'm loving it. And then they even had Vedanta talks.
Oh, okay.
So
Yes,
you could go and do a talk on
yeah.
Vedanta, and I have the book actually, the Vedanta Treatise. Somebody gave it to me 3 years ago, and it's a brilliant book. I love it. We even discussed it on our podcast and on our lives, and that's the book they have in every bedroom there.
Oh, really?
There were so many synchronicities to being there that it just felt like this is absolutely meant to be. So then we did the Vedanta talks, and then we had, if you're on the Panchkarma program, you have normally around 3 treatments a day. So Abhyanga, so oil massage cannot stress enough how important that is. My hair changed. I mean, I use our hair oil, but I'm probably a bit stingy with it. And Bittu uses it religiously, and Bit's got great head of hair, and the old bloke's nearly 59 next month, and he's got incredible hair. And I use it when I remember, and as I say, a bit stingy, but in India it was like drenching my hair in oil, and literally the texture changed within a week. And drenching the body in oil, and remember to heat the oil in the sink before you use it on your body. So Abhyanga, and then we did the heart opening, the oil here. I had ghee in my eyes.
Really?
I loved
I've done
it.
that once, but wait, you just can't remember.
Yeah, so you're lying down, and then they put wheat.
Yes.
They make wheat. Did you have that?
I've had something like that.
So they make wheat kind of like a well for the oil to sit in. One here, one here. That's a little bit claustrophobic because you kind of can't quite see. Luckily, you're staring up at a really beautiful ceiling, and then all of a sudden they fill your eyes, they fill your eyes with ghee. Your eyes are closed and they're full of ghee, and then they make you open them, and it's all blurry, and I'm lying there thinking, what must it be like to be a little bit impaired of vision because you can't see properly. And then the therapist asks you to look up, look down, left, right, and you do this several times, and then they repeat the whole process again.
Wow.
And they keep doing it until eventually they stop. They blot your eyes a little bit, and you wake up and your eyes are clear.
Wow.
It's incredible. And I didn't flinch because, and she said to me, hats off to you, madam. She's heard that from someone. She said, hats off to you, madam. You were very well behaved, because people get freaked by having oil in their eyes, of course. But I trusted the women. The women are incredible.
Yeah.
Mira, they're these tiny little dolls. I mean, they're tiny, from South India.
Really?
They have so much power in their hands and so much strength in their body. It's incredible. One day I had to have enemas. That's the hard part. And after the enema, you immediately go to relieve yourself. You have to. And then I didn't collapse on the floor. I lay down on the floor because I needed cold, because you're releasing toxins. So your body's really heating up. You're like just sweating and so hot. So I lay myself down on the cold floor just to give myself some relief. And you're completely bare, like you've got a little towel around you, but you're pretty much exposed. And these women, this is what they do. They're patting you on the head, and they're stroking you and saying, it's okay, madam, just breathe, just breathe. Oh,
gosh.
And I'll tell you something that happened, which is kind of embarrassing, but not, because this is what it is to do Panchkarma properly. I'm saying to the ladies, I think I need to go again, but I can't get up. And they're saying, it's okay, madam, just lie here and go.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
They put a towel down for me. I'm lying there like a old person who's got no control of their bowels.
Wow.
And I'm not remotely embarrassed, because they're making me feel so comfortable.
So nice.
It was so, you let go of so many inhibitions. Even my surgeon had said, don't massage here too much, yeah? And the first 8 days, I was relieved that my surgeon had said that, because I was uncomfortable showing my boobs. I was a little bit embarrassed, because obviously you're covered, you've got knickers on, but even though these women do it day in, day out, I was slightly like, I don't know, I'm a bit prudish. I don't know if it's our upbringing or just me, I don't know. Anyway, day 8, I thought, just take it off and get on with it. And it's liberating, because you can't have people care for you unless you allow them to care for you.
And also, that's the way that they do it, and that's the way it has to be done.
That's the way they do it, yeah.
And that's part of your body, so they have to like focus on all areas. Yeah.
Exactly. And so then they did that, and the other interesting treatments I had were when you drink saline water. Have you done that one, Mira?
No.
So you drink loads of saline water, and then you have to make yourself...
Oh, really?
Yeah, because what happens is everything from here up doesn't get a chance to be released properly. So phlegm and everything. So you're trying to get that out this way rather than the other way. I found that really difficult to do, because it felt quite alien doing, you know. So I didn't manage to do very much, so it had to just pass through the normal channels, but the idea is to do that. Then they, of course, did the neti, which we do at home.
Yeah.
I don't do that regularly, Bitu does. And then the other treatments that they did the poultices like we do in our spas. But overall, what I got from it was just so much care and love. And it left me feeling, if we can't give ourselves 14 days a year to ourselves out of 300 plus days, what is wrong with our life?
It's a good way of detoxing and just getting ourselves back into it.
And it doesn't have to be at Ananda.
Yeah,
I mean, Ananda was amazing, but there are many Ayurvedic spas in South India and all over that you could do 2 weeks, including accommodation, including everything, for around £1,200-1,400. Now, if you think, and I'm not saying that's not a lot of money for some people, it is, but if you think of all the things you could save on, for instance, your regular holiday, you know,
it's a great way to get holiday and wellness at the same time. I think wellness holidays have become so popular now that, and there are new spas opening all over South India.
All over, yeah.
And South India is a great place to do it because it's so away from the hustle and bustle of what you would normally.
Yes.
I like not near any big cities. And
yes.
It's lush in the greens.
Yes.
And it's.
I'd do that next time.
I've done that a few times, and I feel like. I mean, I find up here, I've done them quite a few times, and I've been to South India a lot, and I love it. I do find after a few days of doing Abhyanga massages, my body's a little bit like too much oil.
On day 5, I said to her, "You're not going to do Abhyanga again. I've just washed my hair," because it's like oil. But then when we stopped doing it as much, I really missed it.
Yeah, it
is
is
like
a good
really. And when one of the treatments is where they just pour oil from a funnel, hot oil all over your body for literally 40 minutes.
Gosh.
Just keep, like they do on your forehead, the same treatment but on your body. And you're slipping and sliding on the wooden, what's it called? The bed.
Yes.
But it is extraordinary if you just succumb to it and say, I'm going to do this. What was nice, Mira, is another realization I had is how brilliant our treatments are. Because we can't do them in the UK the way they do them in a proper Ayurvedic retreat, because they have the wooden bed, and obviously our spas like Bulgari don't have the facilities for that, they don't, but we do a really good job. And it made me so happy to see that what we're doing really well. It's just that I don't do it often enough.
Yeah,
that's the thing, is you just
we
got to
don't
do it more.
Yeah, we don't treat ourselves to those sorts of things in London.
No. And we call it a treat.
Yeah.
And it's not a treat. And why is it that we will happily go away for 2 weeks on a drinking and overeating holiday? So many holidays, they're eat all you want, aren't they? It's all about consuming rather than releasing, and actually,
rather than coming back feeling rejuvenated. You come back feeling tired.
You come back. I think what you enjoy about it is time with friends. If you go away with friends or family, like if the Bitu Manav and I go away, it's dedicated time for ourselves. But why couldn't the 3 of us do brunch karma together? We could. We could.
Our whole family went away a 5 years ago or something, like entire family, my grandparents, my mum and dad, my uncles and aunts, cousins, we all went away to a Ayurvedic resort in South India called Carnoustie, right by the beach.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, so we all did different treatments every single day, met up in the evening for dinner, and everyone had their own diet.
How many days did you do?
I was there longer because I got there earlier with my grandparents, but I think everyone together was probably 5 to 7 days.
It's the dream.
Yeah, it was really nice. That's a very memorable holiday for like with everyone together and having the grandparents. And then one day we went to the local mandir and did a puja. And yeah, it's beautiful. And it is a great way of like, why not rethink the way that we spend our holidays and make them sort of good for the body, mind, and have fun together.
That's the plan next year when we go for Mum to Rishikesh, for all of us to go somewhere together before that or after that. Because then, everybody benefits. And when we're together, this limited time we have with our family, because we live all over, we are our best selves for them. And that's what we want, isn't it? So, that will be the plan next year. And the plan will be to try and spend 2 months a year in India. And now that we have laptops and we work remotely, I don't see why we can't do 2 months. You know, we can all manage.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's just good for the soul, and you come back feeling whole again.
Totally. Yeah.
How did you find Rishikesh? Like, was this the first time you went?
I went for my father's passing with his ashes and with Millie's ashes. We all went, but I hadn't stayed there. And I wasn't in Rishikesh too long because I literally went for the puja, did the puja, found an incredible charity there, which I'm really grateful for. It was just pure luck and, again, divine intervention, not luck. Because I'd been looking for a charity where we knew where the money was going. Like, it wasn't going in admin fees, it was going to the source, and I found an incredible charity there. So I want to go back and spend a couple of weeks volunteering with them. So I really immerse myself in what they need. So it was worth going to Rishikesh for that. And then the driver kind of just drove me through. I didn't really spend time. You spent time there, right? I want to spend time there.
No,
but you have before, right?
No, I've been to Rishikesh, but again, I've not spent any time there.
Right.
So I think I went for a wedding on the Ghat, and I don't think we did much other than just go to that wedding.
Would you want to go back?
Yes, 100%.
Me too.
I loved it. I think Ganga, firstly taking a dipki into the Ganga, but also just water rafting.
Oh, did you do that?
It was amazing.
Wow, you managed to do that. Wow.
So white water rafting when you go to Rishikesh is one of the best things that you can possibly do. It's just phenomenal.
I would love
and it
to
wasn't
do that.
difficult. It wasn't scary. It wasn't hard. It was just a slight thrill and just beautifully cold, fresh and very clean water.
And apparently it is all clean now because the government's really working to sort it out.
But also this is quite near the source.
Yes.
I think when you go further, like Varanasi, it gets a little bit more polluted there, but here it's very, very clean.
We did do a trek. And the trek was amazing.
Oh, wow.
So the trek, it wasn't that long. It was probably in total 4 hours, I think, from my memory. And what again, the metaphor was that we had something that we were striving for. We had a goal. You need to have a goal, right? You can't just aimlessly keep trekking. So we had a goal, but it was definitely the journey that was the fun part. When you get to the top, you're not like, I've made it. It's like, oh, good, I've achieved my aim. But actually the journey was so much fun. And the higher we got, the harder it got. But it was fun as well. And it was fun being with people from all different walks of life. I met a woman who was from Russia. She'd left Russia because of everything that's going on. And she was the 10th Russian to climb Mount Everest. Or the 10th woman, I can't remember. But she's done 5 peaks and she was now going to do another. She was extraordinary.
Gosh.
So it was a walk in the park for her. It was like nothing.
So it was near Ananda?
Yeah, it was about a 50-minute drive from Ananda.
Okay.
So not so near, but near enough.
Yeah, I did a trek. We went up to a waterfall.
Oh no, we didn't have a waterfall. Yeah, your waterfall looked amazing.
So that was the trek we did to the
Yours
waterfall.
looked amazing. No, we didn't have that. Ours was more all
It was
green,
just a few hours.
but it still looked incredible.
It was lovely. But you're right, you need a bit of a purpose to be going
You
up
do.
to something.
Yeah, you need a purpose, but you're not attached to the purpose. You're like, I know. Again, that's why I think if we have something to look forward to, if I say to myself, I know I'm going back next year, it's something to work towards, making your plans, but not feeling like without that, my life is incomplete. But you do have that plan of action. We need it for every area of our life, and not just social, but our work
and also
as well.
say yes to spontaneous travel.
Absolutely.
Now that we can.
Absolutely, yeah. And weekends away, which are not hard. We can do that, and we should do that. But yeah, it's when I was there was one day, Mira, I felt like I was in a Heineken ad, because just the universe just was opening so much love for me that I felt bathed in it like I can't tell you. I just felt like a beam of light, and everywhere I went was love, love, love.
Gosh.
I can't tell you. And I said to this woman who was there, I love the shawl you're wearing. She said, it's yours. And she gave it to me. And the whole day people kept giving, giving, giving. And I realized I was giving too, freely.
It's beautiful.
It was beautiful. And I said to Bit, when I came back, I've realized that I am not made to sit in an office. It's not my nature. I light up when I'm with people.
Yeah.
And I have to change my business so that I'm not in an office, because it destroys part of my soul. Some people are really good at that, and they should be doing it, and some people are not.
And when you go there and you realise that you just are a different person,
Yeah,
you're like, I need
totally.
to just keep coming back for this.
Absolutely. I liked that person, and I felt that person was invincible, and anything could have happened and it wouldn't have dampened that light. And got to go back to that much, much more. So now what I've taken from it is the daily practices, which I was doing before, but I wasn't doing the mantras. So I've added the mantras, and also just more walking, which I was doing before. You were running.
Yeah, I
weren't
was
you?
running.
Are you still running?
Sort of. I did a
Yeah.
short one this morning, but
Yeah.
my runs have become really short now.
Yeah. How
Like
short is short?
2K, like 10 minutes,
Oh, but
15,
that's
12
fine.
minutes, 15 minutes sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just, I did start off in lockdown doing like longer runs, but
Yeah.
I also feel like now I do a lot of different things,
Yeah.
and I want to combine yoga back into my practice,
Yeah.
because I was doing a lot of weights and I'd gone away
Yeah,
from
you
yoga.
were doing weights.
So having done this retreat, I just
Yeah.
want to go back to having a balance of different things,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
doing that stretching yoga and making
Yeah.
sure that's part of my practice.
What is your day? What does your day look like now?
My day looks like waking up and doing some sort of exercise.
Yeah.
So this morning I went for a very short run.
Yeah.
I might again do the gym later at some
Yeah.
point if I want to. I've got a Peloton bike at home, so I make sure that I do that twice a week or something.
Amazing.
And then I work. Most of the day
Yeah.
I can create a recipe like twice a week, 3 times a week I'll do a video.
Yeah.
And otherwise it's work, emails, speaking to people.
You're not
and-
at your desk all day, are you?
No.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
But I
that's
do
good.
sit and work from somewhere sometimes. Like
Yeah.
if I'm out, I'll work from somewhere, because I don't always like being at home
Yeah.
working. And that's it. I don't feel like I have enough of a routine, but I need to do that. Before lockdown.
Yeah.
Before India, I was
Yeah.
doing early mornings, like
Yes.
5:30, 6 o'clock.
Wow.
And it was amazing. But since I've got back from India, I've just been very sleepy in the mornings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't know why.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to that.
But it's good it's good that you accept that you're sleepy in the morning. Like
Yeah.
at this moment, that's how you are. Like we shouldn't push ourselves to the extent that we're not listening. So since India, I have been waking up early. I found it, I like waking, I'm my best in the morning. Also because I've got the two boys, the man and the boy, they don't wake up early. So I love that sweet time where it's just quiet.
Yeah.
Because Bitty wakes up and puts the radio on. He listens to the news first thing. And I don't want to hear the news first thing. So it's those 2 hours I have before they start to emerge where it's just me, solitude, the birds, and my ritual. And I don't want to give that up for
Brilliant.
anything. I love it, love it, love it. But then I'm in bed by 10. And Bit will be up till 12, midnight. I can't. 10 o'clock and I'm lights out. But that works
That's
for
the
me.
way you should do it, though.
It suits me.
Yeah.
And I think if it doesn't suit you, like Bitty doesn't eat till 2 in the afternoon. Not a bean.
Wow.
But then he'll eat till late. Whereas I have to eat 9 in the morning, but I can finish by 7. So you have to follow your rhythms, right? I don't know that there is a right and a wrong. I know we say in Ayurveda, wake up.
No, different bodies do work differently. I used to
Yeah.
be very much of a night person and
Yeah.
got everything done at night, and I think that suited me then, but I've realised that it doesn't really work for my body
Yeah.
anymore. And actually there is something to be said about waking up early and getting things done before the world wakes up.
Yes, exactly.
And that's
exactly.
such a good time to not be distracted by other things and not feeling you have to rush those rituals or that exercise or that you time.
Yeah, exactly. So give me one piece of advice that you got in India that is going to stick with you.
One is I am focusing more on the morning rituals.
Yeah.
And making sure that breath work is part of my daily routine, which it was in lockdown, and I sort of trained in it, but I need to go back to having it every day.
Yeah.
And making sure that my system is calm in the morning, because I think without realizing, even the smallest things that add stress to my body equal stress.
Yes.
So making sure that I start the day with no stress.
Yes.
And posture is another thing.
Oh, darling.
That's something that I feel
right.
like... No, because I met a spine sort of specialist in Bombay.
Right.
And, you know, he said there's a curvature in my spine and I need to... And I was just like, well, that's my posture. I'm a tall person. I sort of do a lot of things on my phone.
Yes.
I slouch and I just need to focus on straightening that up.
Yeah.
So health, really. Wellness, health, and my own spiritual journey. And also making sure that I'm not thinking that India's where I light up only, like carrying that with me. Because that's another thing that I feel I'll go to India and that's my source of everything. But actually I can carry whatever light that sparks up in me in India. I can carry that. I'm me wherever I am.
Yep, you're right.
And being able to transfer that and understand that I can be that person.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But I think you do need to fill your tank every now and then. I can carry that light now. I'm carrying it, but at some point it probably will diminish again for a bit.
I need that.
And then you need to go back and refuel. And that's okay too.
Yeah.
And my take homes for India were, give yourself time, like doesn't matter what, give yourself, even if you can only give yourself 4 days, just do it, wherever, just do it. Give yourself time. The other thing I would say is, all you women out there, all you men, if you're waiting to have any checks, have the checks, do it now. Because when you have something wrong, you don't always feel it. So book that mammogram and book whatever you need to book and make sure you're okay. And just lastly, be kind to yourself, because we've been through something so big with lockdown. We're just getting back into something again that's so big, because we're different people now. So just be kind to yourself and have people you can rely on as well. And know that you're not alone. And thank you for joining us both. It was lovely chatting.
Yeah.
So
we were meant to meet in India, but we spoke about India.
We did it here. Next best thing.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go to India.
Yes.